game over. It's game over.
I hope Russia, China, Ecuador stand up to the financial terrorists in America and Britain. Stay the course. Don't give in. Don't appease the financial terrorists on Wall Street. We need you to stand firm. What Edward Snowden has proved is that if you live a principled life and stay true to your convictions, you can change the world.
I think these discussions about Snowden are really a distraction. What we need to be focusing on isn't whether or not what he did was lawful, it's whether or not what the agency did was lawful.
What we do or don't do as a society about this massive accumulation of power through the control of information about people's personal lives as well as their social lives, information gathered on every digital and electronic gadget that's been marketed to us.
This is about the unconstitutional, unethical, and immoral actions of the modern-day surveillance state and how we all must work together to remind the government to stop them. It's about our right to know, our right to associate freely, and to live in a free and open democratic society. We are witnessing an American moment in which ordinary people, from high school to high office, stand up to oppose a dangerous trend in government. We're told that what is unconstitutional is not illegal, but we will not be fooled. We have not forgotten that the Fourth Amendment in our Bill of Rights prohibits government not only from searching our personal effects without a warrant, but from seizing them in the first place and doing so in secret. Holding to this principle, we declare that mass surveillance has no place in this country. It is time for reform. Elections are coming and we are watching you. Thank you from Edward Snowden.
Jesslyn Radak reading a message from NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden at Saturday's Stop Watching Us rally in Washington, D.C. National Security Agency whistleblower Thomas Drake also spoke. He was charged with espionage after he was suspected of revealing information about the NSA's warrantless wiretapping program.
Due to the material evidence disclosed by Edward Snowden, we now know in great detail, and I will add with much more to come, that the NSA does not have an honorable track record of telling the truth while keeping track of us without our consent, hiding behind secret laws, secret opinions, and secret interpretations in the shadowlands of surveillance. Unacceptable! I agree, unacceptable, and we only know of government spying, illegality, wrongdoings, and violations due to the disclosures of whistleblowers. The public's eyes and ears exposing abuse of government power in the public interest. But without adequate protections, employees are more likely to turn a blind eye to the privacy violations of innocent Americans and risk professional and career suicide. It is the constant possibility of observation without our consent, as a governed by those in power, that stultifies society, renders creativity mute, engenders fear and erodes our freedom with the acid served up by the potent brew of secrecy combined with surveillance for the sake of security while forsaking our liberties and the price we must pay to make us feel safe. I don't think so. I was fortunate that I did not end up in actual prison, having lived the virtual version for a number of years, for coming out of the system and speaking truth to and of power. Clearly a dangerous act of civil disobedience and individuality for sure in these times, and now defined as a criminal act by the national security state, aided and abetted by journalists and reporters, expressing one's fundamental and inalienable right to individual sovereignty in the face of a government bent on destroying it. The last thing a free and open society needs is a digital fence around us, creating a virtual turnkey tyranny. with the barbed wire surveillance not only keeping track of our comings and goings, but now increasingly wanting to know what we think and feel, the very essence of who we are and share as human beings. I fundamentally reject this dystopian premise. And the siren call of security. If we just give up our essential liberties, given what happened to me and other whistleblowers like Edward Snowden. And so, it is time to roll back the surveillance state. It is time to restore the Fourth Amendment. It is time to repeal the Patriot Act. It is time to repeal the Vice Amendments Act. It is time that the United States government stops watching us.
Former National Security Agency whistleblower Thomas Drake speaking Saturday at the Stop Watching Us rally. He was charged with espionage after he was suspected of revealing information about the agency's warrantless wiretapping program. All 10 original charges against him were dropped. Former Republican Governor of New Mexico, Gary Johnson, also addressed the crowd.
The government has granted itself power that it does not have. We have to stand against this. Angela Merkel, thank you for bringing the attention to the world that the U.S. is monitoring the cell phones of 35 world leaders. Thank you for allowing us to recognize that 70 million cell phone conversations in France every month are being monitored. Edward Snowden, thank you. Thank you for bringing to the attention of the world the fact that the U.S. government, the NSA, is engaged in massive information gathering. 125 billion cell phone conversations a month. Judges granting legal authority for the NSA to monitor 113 million Verizon users. This is not due process.
Snowden blew the whistle on American efforts to spy on innocent citizens. Today, we all blow the whistle.
We're here to protect not only Snowden, but also all of us, because we're all part of this scheme by the US government, trying to take our secrets, our confidential information away from us, without our knowledge, without due process.
Having the US government, any government, to monitor on my activities on the internet is a matter of great concern to me. I think it would be very important for Hong Kong to be able to safeguard that right to decide in terms of its extradition if there's such a request being put to us.
Currently, you are demonstrating without a permit. If you do not leave, you'll be subject to arrest. This is your second warning.
We are entitled to move to the plaza right there.
We're supposed to have the ability to congregate to address grievances to our government. This is one of the biggest scandals ever, and we're not allowed to do that. What does that say?
The 40 cities around Germany to show their support for both Edward Snowden and Bradley Manning. The largest of those demonstrations is taking place in the German financial capital of Frankfurt. But as here in Berlin, as well as many other cities around the country, marches are taking place to show their support for the two whistleblowers and to show their anger at the way that not only the United States government has been spying into their private lives, their emails, their phone calls, their social networking sites and the likes, but the way in which the German government appears to have been, well, not just complicit, but an active partner in taking part in that spying. It's turned out that Germany, being one of the most watched countries by the NSA PRISM operation, over 500 million data connections were intercepted from Germany every month.
My son has spoken the truth. He has sacrificed more than either the President of the United States or Peter King have ever. in their political careers or their American lives. As a father, I want my son to come home if I believe that the justice system that we should be afforded as Americans is going to be applied correctly. At this point, when you consider many of the statements made by our leaders in Congress, they are absolutely irresponsible and inconsistent with our system of justice. They have poisoned the well, so to speak, in terms of a potential jury pool. Where my son chooses to live the rest of his life is going to be his decision. But I would like at some point in time for him to be able to come back to the U.S.
I can't say for Bradley Manning whether it would be worth a matter for him, but according to alleged conversations that he has had, he said that he was willing to risk his future to bring that information to the public. Snowden as well. These are very serious, earnest young men who really believe in something and have shown great courage. And there is no doubt, actually, that history will look on them extremely favourably, and perhaps even in a few years.
He's safe. He obviously is exhausted, but he now needs a period of time where he can recoup his energy level and reflect on what he wishes to do going forward. And that's from Mr. Cucciarino. We hope to meet with him, say, very soon with Edward in the next weeks.
Good luck with that. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There was an article that came out in an online outlet called BuzzFeed, where they interviewed officials from the Pentagon, from the National Security Agency, and they gave them anonymity to be able to say what they wanted. And what they told the reporter was that they wanted to murder me. These individuals, and these are acting government officials, they said they would be happy, they would love to put a bullet in my head, to poison me as I was returning from the grocery store, and have me die in the shower. But I'm still alive, and I don't lose sleep, because I've done what I feel I needed to do. It was the right thing to do, and I'm not going to be afraid.